notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Dan, before yesterday, had you asked me if he was still playing, I honestly would not have been able to answer with any sort of confidence. But after going 22 of 26 for 249 yards with 1 touchdown and no interceptions while leading the Cardinals, who were without DeAndre Hopkins, to a convincing 31-17 road win over San Francisco. Dan,
lock it in, says Tony. Lock
make
in the
no
49ers.
mistake about it. Colt McCoy
Yes.
is back.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. This wild Cordero Patterson is 27% of the Falcons' touches.
If someone asked you yesterday, Colt McCoy retired,
I wouldn't have guessed. I would not have guessed that Colt McCoy was the quarterback, the backup quarterback in Arizona. But Colt McCoy will be doing that again in 10 more years.
the Oklahoma City Thunder are 2-6 this season. Their only 2 wins have come against the Lakers. So you, of course, know what that means, Dan.
They have the Lakers number.
Wow, look at you. You are 100% right. That's impressive. You're on it this morning.
It's not really.
OKC. Joe Flacco in street clothes on the sidelines Thursday night. Looked like he could have been one of 4 things: a quarterback in street clothes, a male model, Secret Service, or a statue.
Right, yes.
He is so good looking, man.
Is he?
I mean, the Jets traded a pick to get him to stand on the sidelines in street clothes.
Just to be good looking around the scent that the Jets give off. To be smoldering, Joe Flacco.
He's a good looking
Put
man.
it on the poll. Is Joe Flacco smoldering?
It doesn't do it for me.
Doesn't for
Really?
me either. I don't.
Taller
Wow.
cousin Greg.
Stugotz has a type, and it's Joe Flacco. He has a type.
Perhaps.
Long neck.
And Tony.
Only Tony.
Not only Tony.
Dan.
You literally just finished saying Joe Flacco.
I know.
He doesn't
The
listen. To,
quickest
he
one of
doesn't
your lives
listen.
I'm
is
not keeping
unraveled.
track.
He doesn't listen to what he says. He doesn't.
You guys just
It's
keep
not-
advancing stuff. I mean, I'm trying to do
Just
observations
trying to keep
here.
up.
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
Yes, I can't remember what I said.
What I
last-
said a minute
last
ago doesn't
sentence.
matter a minute
It wasn't
later.
a minute. It was
Yes.
like it was the
It was
the
what
I
previous.
said 30
it was the
seconds
previ-
ago.
It was
The
the
past
previous
is the past. I mean,
it was the previous.
Let's deal in the now.
thought
That's where
you
I
had.
am.
It was just the previous.
I'm always in the now, Dan.
Yeah, you are. I think when I think of
30
presence,
seconds ago was
yes,
Flacco.
When I
Now
think
it's,
of that's
Tony.
it. Put it on the poll. When you think meditative enlightenment that comes from staying in the present, do you think of Stugotz?
I mean, a year ago, Mahomes was great. And now?
That's right.
A year ago, Rodgers was sane. And now? Stay in the now,
Yeah,
Dan.
it wasn't the previous sentence, is what I'm saying, that came out of your own mouth, is all.
Dan,
Yes.
never underestimate the power of a players-only meeting.
You mentioned that already.
I
Yeah.
drove down there on Saturday night just to tell you that. I told you. It's the first thing I told you when I walked in the
It is.
doors.
It is how Stugotz said hello to me. It really was. Dan, that Celtics players only meeting. And now they want to get in the game for Ben Simmons. The reports are the Celtics. Please make that a rivalry that matters again. Celtics and Heat. Please.
LeBron James, here's an idea. Stop worrying about Odell Beckham Jr. and start worrying about your team and your season. Out of nowhere, the Miami Hurricanes are fun. They have a quarterback and a wide receiver with the last name Rambo. That, Dan, is how you become fun. Tyler Van Dyke saving Manny Diaz's job 1 game at a time. Vanny Dimes. Offensive tackle Jack Conklin was out for the Browns.
Chris Cody, what happened there? What happened? Did you muffle some barf on Vanny Dimes?
I mean, we heard a lot of these takes in the local hour, so he's just rehashing them.
Offensive tackle. Live in the now, Chris. Offensive tackle Jack Conklin was out for the Browns. I only bring that up.
He's reheating his crap from the local hour. He couldn't cross it out or not repeat it.
Nope.
He just same. Okay.
They've already been written, Dan.
Yeah, understood, but they didn't need to be used. You were the one doing local
I'm
hour.
not rewriting.
You're in, you're in. Once
I'm in the now,
What?
you're in the past. I mean, let's
What?
all try to stay in the now, please.
I was all right. Yes, that's fine.
I'm going backwards. I'm going
do.
forwards.
You are Eckhart Tolle. You
Thank
are the
you.
power of now.
I've never mentioned Jack Conklin before in my entire
You
life.
are
I'm about to.
a spiritual leader. That's what you are.
Offensive tackle. Jack Conklin was out for the Browns. I only bring that up to point out if your name is Jack Conklin, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be a tackle. So, do you have kids, Mr. Conklin? Yeah. We have a son named Jack. Oh, Jack Conklin. So he's going to be a tackle.
That's right.
That's the conversation.
That's right. That's so true.
Thank you.
Can he be a guard or no?
No, it has to be a tackle.
Okay. Can he be a center?
No, Jack Conklin has to be a center. Mike Webster has to be a tackle. Mike Webster, more a center's name, if you know what I mean. He was an actual center.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Felt the need to point that out.
Thank you.
You got it. Wake Forest, the rare 55 burger with a side of loss.
That was such a fun game.
The Deeks,
So ridiculously fun.
double nickel. Cincinnati, do you know what Alabama would do to Tulsa? Seriously. It's not enough with the style point. Cincinnati has no business making the playoff. 0. Wake Forest, it was fun while it lasted. State Farm, if my neighbor acted like this, I'd punch him in the face.
Wow.
Well, why? What happened? You wouldn't? Hey, like a good neighbor. I mean, tell me you're vaccinated, you're not vaccinated. I'm hanging out in your backyard. I mean, you're hugging me, and then all of a sudden I find out you're not. That's not a good neighbor. You know who's a good neighbor? The Hawaii Rainbows. They are always there for me at midnight, plus 7.5. Oh, that was great. Saved my entire weekend. Tough loss on the over, though. Tough. Parlayed it. Tough.
That's what you have to do. Hawaii and the over.
I've done it forever, Mike. I'll never stop doing it. You do Hawaii straight, and then you do Hawaii in the over.
Hawaii
right?
in the over. I'm taking Hawaii. It's Hawaii.
But
and
Hawaii
the over.
straight first.
Hawaii in the over.
You would never bet that game and take the other team, would you? People don't do that.
Hawaii in the over.
It's just basically all you're hoping for is did the island breeze get to the opponent and the flight? But I want to ask you guys, would you guys, for Whittingham and Mike Ryan, who aspired to the Miami program not being all the way back, but merely being Texas A&M, would you be fine with your program only being associated in its identity with people bet me late on Saturday night as a chaser? Would you be okay? Because that's been their identity since before Colt Brennan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Timmy Chang and them boys.
Oh, Timmy
Yeah,
Chang.
no, Hawaii is my second favorite football team because of the special spot in my heart that they reside, which is always Hawaii in the over.
So you're basically saying, do you want the University of Miami to move as far west as possible?
No, just
so
to
that they're
have-
playing games at 3 a.m.
No, just to have an identity. Would that suffice for you as a brand? Because that's Hawaii's brand.
Sure, I'm in.
We have an identity. We're jokes. We always say how back we are, and then we beat ourselves up in the sand.
Right. The Rainbows are a good neighbor.
Very
Right.
clear.
Yeah.
We'll have sex in porta potty bathrooms at West 32, and get married
While,
there.
Get married
while,
there as
while a
well.
wedding was going on, I walked past it this Saturday. I was like, wow, a wedding took place here.
God,
We have
so
a very
foul.
crystal clear identity. We talk a bunch of shit. We never back it up. None of us went to the school. Next.
Except for Whittingham,
yeah, and
who
look
went
at
to
him.
the school
Well,
and the game.
Because most of the people that went to the school are like Whittingham.
What is that supposed to mean?
That is an insult to both you and me.
Whoa.
Wow.
What is that supposed to
What
mean?
does it mean, Mike?
What does it mean?
Explain.
What does it mean?
You know. You know.
It means someone who goes to the game on Saturday and has not a single beer.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what that means.
Dry football game.
Killer.
Loved it.
Really?
I?
You can't really
I
provide.
can't watch a University of Miami sober. I cannot.
Can you watch any football game? Like, can you attend a football game and not have a
And
drink?
then when he's like, I just like watching football. I'm like, this guy.
Oh, boy.
I love looking at coverages. Love looking at route trees.
You can do that after a couple high noons, Wade.
All 20.
I see better. I see the field so much better after taking a shot from the ice luge that is in the West 32 parking
They
lot.
have one of those?
Yeah. It's finally back
You
a year
can't get
away.
married there. There is no way that woman's dress didn't end up soaked in mud, correct? Soaked at the bottom with mud. There's no way that she got out of there clean, right?
It's probably in one of the 140 garbage bags that surround the trash can, the communal trash can.
Yeah.
That wedding dress is there.
The Broncos are better without Von Miller. It's amazing. Excuse me, $5. How much taller Baker Mayfield is when he's throwing to Donovan People-Jones, DPJ.
It's Peoples Jones.
Whatever.
That's the rare thing. Old people usually add an S.
Live
they
in the
don't.
present.
Brett Favre's.
How much do I owe?
You owe $5. You don't get fined for names. I get fined for names, but you do get $5 for coughing into the mic or clearing your throat.
Oh, I have a
mic.
5 today. How about
If you were
that?
casually
Very
walking
impressive.
from West 32 and you saw a wedding dress on the floor somewhere or in a garbage bag, I would think nothing of it.
I would think nothing of underwear for sure.
Wedding dress on the floor. That means wedding night started early. Am I right?
In the porta potty.
I mean,
Maybe. The Cowboys are better without Dak Prescott. Haven't confirmed yet, but hearing Tua somehow fractured his middle finger, holding it up too long at the Dolphins organization. The Cardinals are better without Kyler Murray. Sixers, 8-2, best record in the East, winners of 6 straight. Has anyone checked in on Ben Simmons? Raiders.
Boston has apparently.
Yeah, Boston, the
You're right.
Celtics, Brad Stevens has.
Raiders. Not for real. Heat Jazz had an NBA Finals feel to it, even though I was at Moss and didn't watch a single second. But I was driving there and it felt like NBA Finals traffic. That's why it had the feel. Thank you for pointing that out.
It was
Mike.
just traffic, Stugotz.
It was a lot of traffic,
It
Ted.
wasn't NBA Finals traffic.
Oh, it felt like NBA
just-
Finals traffic.
just
Saturday
Brickle.
traffic.
It was a big game.
It's Brickle Saturday
All
traffic.
right, if you say so. I mean, you're telling me it had nothing to do with Heat Jazz 7:30 on a
Stugotz,
Saturday night?
You don't go
Finals
to When's the
preview?
last time you were in downtown Miami on a Saturday night?
In a minute, Dan.
You were scalping tickets. You never used any of your tickets. 2010,
Right.
LeBron James.
I went to that
first-
Orlando game, second game of the season.
That's the last time you've been
Yeah.
downtown
It
Miami.
was the first home game. Yeah.
It's just Saturday nights, Stugotz. It's not Parkland.
All right. I mean, I was there Saturday night. That was the last time. Stay there now, Dan.
but you didn't show up till like 9:30. Like I feel like for the
That's not
people that
true.
arrived on time, the traffic was probably a factor.
I hit traffic. I hit NBA Finals traffic. What do you want from me? Panthers, Hurricanes had a Stanley Cup vibe to it.
You didn't watch that game either. That
I
was
hit
also
Panther
Saturday
traffic
night.
as well.
And
I
also,
mean,
they're
He
both
lives so
in the
far that
Eastern
he hit
Conference.
both. But he hit both. He lives so far that he could hit both traffic.
I did hit both.
They're both in the Eastern Conference. It's impossible to have a Stanley Cup vibe.
It
to
had that feel to it.
a Prince of Wales vibe.
It
to
had
it.
the feel, Mike. You
It
can't
did.
argue with the feel of it, even if it.
I drove past the arena. Did you?
Panthers
I mean,
game started at 6 p.m.
That's when I left my house.
That is about again proving our point all the more. I was gonna make my first. I texted Mike this. I was gonna make my first hockey bet ever on the Panthers to win by more than a goal and a half. And I look up and I'm going to make the bet, and I'm like, it's 4-0. And I'm like, bleep, they started early.
You love that plus juice, huh? Those -1.5 in hockey. They never hit.
You're right. It's the dumbest.
I want to bet it every
sports
time. -1.5 in hockey, plus 200.
I was just trying to bet on the idea of can we get excited about hockey for real? Like, are they going to smoke one of the teams that they're not supposed to smoke? And good God, like that. It's not just that they haven't lost, Stugotz. It's that they've got an indisputably a good hockey team
Yes.
that just lost their coach in an unspeakable scandal and have not been derailed by it.
They're a very good team. Chris, do you do that with baseball? where you'll bet the -1.5 just to get the money down because you don't want to lay 240 on the Dodgers to win at home?
I try to avoid baseball at all costs. but
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I do that. I love the plus. Anything plus juice, man. I love it.
Anthony Davis, I challenge you to go a single game without something popping up. Play basketball, man. Jesus. It's always something with him. I mean, you feel good. This hurts. LeBron's not here. Just play basketball. You get paid a lot of money. Also, do me a favor. Win an NBA title outside of a bubble. The V in Verstappen. Do you know what it stands for, Dano?
Victory.
Vroom, vroom.
Oh, I forgot.
How could you?
Big weekend for Checo, too. Third Mexico Grand Prix.
Do you have a minute?
I don't.
Really?
Grand Prix.
Verstappen, he's going to win this thing. It's a
an
changing
ass.
of the guard, Stugotz, in F1. He's 19-point lead going into 4 races left on the calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the old guard?
Lewis Hamilton,
How many points for a victory?
25.
Okay.
Verstappen's car has so much pace. The Red Bull just has a faster car this season.
Vroom, vroom.
I mean, Lewis said it after the race. He was like, they were 16 seconds off.
Looks like we need an injury.
Or some funny business.
Oh, wow.
Well, I wouldn't rule out
love
any
a little
funny business.
Good big fan
There's
of
been
funny
some
business.
funny business this season. That's
How
for
so?
sure. Billy, I'll tell you about it after the show.
Wow. Big secret.
No, I mean, I don't want to completely, detour during your weekend observations, Stugotz.
If the committee was actually interested in doing their job, they'd give serious consideration of putting Purdue in the playoff. The spoiler makers.
I wanna
they had 2 top 5 victories.
If that's
I
not a
mean-
thing, I want it to be a thing. Jessica used that phrase the other day, spoiler makers. Is that something that they're called? Because it's
Yes.
great if it's a great nickname for them because that's what they exist to do.
The P in Purdue stands for pain in the ass of any team that has to play them if they're ranked.
Mm-hmm.
They're the spoiler makers.
The wide receiver, is it David Bell? Is he?
Yes.
He now just got into the Heisman conversation? Did he not?
How do they beat top 5 teams in the country twice a year, but they can't beat Illinois to win the Big Ten?
It's the Big Ten.
They are the only team in college football history to win multiple games against top 5 teams while being unranked by double digits in the same season.
How does Illinois beat Minnesota? I don't understand anything.
Illinois
that's
beat Penn
happening in
State.
that
Illinois is
conference.
having the
You had the
weirdest
Gophers, too?
Illinois season.
Look at that. I don't understand anything that happened. I don't understand. Everyone can beat everyone else in that conference,
Right.
and Ohio State isn't clearly as good as Ohio State has been.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want Purdue to wipe the floor with Ohio State too while you're at it.
I think Ohio State actually is pretty good. Nebraska is one of the better 3-8 teams.
Oh, for the love of God!
I swear to God.
They could just as
For the
easily
love
be
of
8-3.
I said that already. You're
They
right.
could, they could be
It's true.
11-0.
They're 5 and
Couple
18.
bounces,
It's true.
yeah.
They're
Like, it's
5
funny, but it's
and
true.
Game of
18
inches.
in their last
And
23
honestly,
one-score
I
games.
feel like that alone is reason why you probably should fire your head
Put
coach
'em in.
because you're so close,
Right.
but you can't finish
No,
any games.
Put them in the Final
Like,
Four.
For us,
they're
yeah.
not lacking in talent. They just can't play. They don't finish games.
Dan, seriously, though, if you're the committee and you want to do this differently and you want to reward
Put
teams.
in a 3-8 Nebraska.
No,
yes.
put Purdue in there. Let's just start with Purdue,
No,
right?
Because
Oh,
Nebraska will lose.
I'll
Like,
tell
they're
you-
not going to win.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'd put Wake in there. Let's see. I want to see that against Georgia's defense. Just show me what it looks like. I'll sign up for that right now. One game. I don't have any idea, but just show me what that looks like. Wake Forest's offense against Georgia's defense. I will sign up for that right now for the Final Four.
My automatic bet every week is whoever's playing Georgia team total under.
Oh, you know what's funny that you say that? Chris Cody earlier this year said the surest bet that he's ever made is Southern Miss plus 6.5 in a game against Georgia.
No, it was a team total. It was a team total. I think it was it against them or Alabama? It was a team total of 6.5. So they just had to get 7 points in the game.
Georgia is averaging allowed 6.6 points per game. They're throwing the offensive lineman at the quarterback. It's amazing to watch. It really is. Missouri had no chance on Saturday.
Do you think we could make an all-star team of like an ACC all-star team and then put them up against Georgia, how do you think they do? Or like any conference, like what conference would be the best?
That's a good
Maybe
question.
a Big Ten All-Star team.
Put it on the poll.
Alabama.
At LeBatard Show. Would a Big Ten All-Star team of David Bell, would it be Purdue? Would they do anything against Georgia's defense?
If the Warriors are going to give up less than 100 points per game, they may never lose again. 5-4. One might say this is Bill Belichick's best coaching job ever. What do you think, Dana? You agree, huh?
Yes.
All right. Bills.
No, it is his best coaching job ever.
Huh.
There it is.
Way to stay in the now.
I mean, it's just you
Proud of
being
you.
an asshole. Like okay. Yeah. You looked at me. You
This
wouldn't just
quarterback's
say
not
it.
even okay.
You didn't just say it. Then you looked at me with a pleased smile. I didn't say anything. I tried to keep it moving. What do you think, Dano?
Bills, Jags. A couple of Josh Allens cutting it up. Jacksonville and Buffalo. Miami and Houston. Separated by, I think, 300 miles. If you stepped outside anywhere in Florida yesterday between 1 and 4 p.m., what you would smell was bad football. Death, taxes, and Justin Tucker. Panthers, Oilers, Lord Stanley, collision course. You see that McDavid goal over the weekend, Mike? One of the great
Did
goals.
I?
I know.
Did I? I had a
Everyone
unit
had the
on
same
that
reaction.
goal. I watch the Oilers all the time.
He backed up and said, "Okay, all you mother bleepers. All right, let's see what all of you have." That was some John Wick shit.
Michigan State, blah, blah, blah. Where Jordan Love's mom sat yesterday is kind of where I imagine Jordan Love sitting in the quarterback room when Aaron Rodgers is there.
Probably the safest spot in the room.
How bad were those seats? How is
Terrible.
that possible that those are the seats that you get for your son's first start?
She deserved better. You know what the C in Mason Crosby stands for, Dan?
Choker.
Cahoots.
Oh, is he tanking with Aaron?
I mean, first block field goal of his career. He missed another. He converts both of those. 13-13. We're going to OT. I mean,
He's missed more than any kicker in the sport, right?
Yeah.
He's missed 6.
you know, the problem with my theory is he did that when Aaron was there, too.
Did you say that was his first blocked field goal?
I
of his
believe it
career?
was. Yeah.
Huh?
Uh-huh. I could be wrong, though, of course.
This seems like a very hard thing to find.
I could be wrong.
I just
though,
typed in the
of
first thing
course.
into the internet I see from 2016. Crosby's field goal is blocked. Just like a headline.
So you were just making
Stay
it
in the
up.
now, Chris.
Yeah, you were just making it up. Just decided to say for no reason whatsoever.
Was that a field goal or an extra point,
Didn't
Chris?
look it up. Didn't.
I
do
trusted the
anything.
announcer. Field goal, extra point, that was.
I'm getting to it.
Okay, good.
2 weeks ago, it looks like he had a blocked kick.
Very good.
A field goal? It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Or an extra point.
You don't have any idea. I wish we should replay.
First block field goal.
He
Someone
came
look
in
it
so
up.
Mike. He came in so meekly with this. I could be wrong, of course. Like there was just a meek dead. I'm making the whole thing up. I hope they don't look it up on me. Just so beaten, fragile, and defeated. Of course,
Anyone look it up?
I could be wrong.
Anyone find it?
Of course. And
Tim
then
Settle blocks
no,
Mason
but now it's
Crosby's
just a
low trajectory
barrage
field
of
goal try.
asking you to look things up so he can't be wrong on something he totally made up.
What happened, Billy?
Keep it
You ever had a field goal block before?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, against Washington.
That's unfortunate
And
for
2
me.
years ago.
Yeah. Well, live in the now, guys.
Whittingham, how you doing over there? Why is your head in your
Just the making of something up for no reason.
no
It
reason?
just it
And he's been doing it.
escapes
It's been
my
doing it all his
comprehension.
life. All his life he's been doing it in every
Cahoots.
realm. He just wanted to say cahoots. That's it.
That's all that matters, Whitty.
It's all you had to hear was that he had a big winner for you on cahoots. It's a word.
You care about accuracy, credibility, and being right. I care about saying cahoots. I mean, that's the difference between us. I'm a wordsmith. You're not.
Can't argue that.
Thank you. Rather than blame Adam Gase for Sam Darnold, how about we blame Sam Darnold
Oh,
for
yes.
Sam Darnold?
Yes.
I'm tired of this Gase thing, this whole narrative. I mean, my friend, leave him alone. The Dolphins scored more points than the Chiefs yesterday. Hell is going on in Kansas City. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, Those are the weekend observations.